Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the Riley Form 6 complex number video series. As you can see, I've asked my friend R2D2 to join us, so he's up in the corner to help me with any technical issues that I might have. So what I'm going to start today is I'm going to work on dividing complex numbers. We've done this in class already, but this is an example to try and help you. I've tried to make the light and everything work, so hopefully it'll be clear and you'll be able to see what's happening. So, dividing complex numbers. If you remember, dividing complex numbers has a number of steps, and each step will get you some marks if you can do it in an exam. So what we have to try and do is remember what the steps are and break it down into those steps, remembering that each step that we do will get us further along the way and will gain us marks. So, here's my complex number, 3 plus 2i divided by 1 plus 5i. Remember, this means 3 plus 2i divided by 1 plus 5i. Okay, that's what that means. And if you remember, the first thing we have to do, step 1, is to find the complex conjugate of the denominator. So the complex conjugate of the denominator. Sorry, R2D2, I'm going to have to move you because you're getting in my way. So you're going to have to go up there just off screen, but he's still watching. So to find the complex conjugate of the denominator. Now, denominator, that might be a phrase that you don't quite understand. The denominator is just the bottom of a fraction. So what I'm going to do is call it the bottom and the top of the fraction. So the first step we need to do is find the conjugate of the bottom. So 1 plus 5i is the bottom. The conjugate is 1 minus 5i. So that's our first step. Our second step is to multiply above and below, so the top and the bottom, multiply above and below by this complex conjugate. So here's our complex number question again, 3 plus 2i divided by 1 plus 5i. I want to multiply above and below by the conjugate of the bottom, so by 1 minus 5i. So we still have top over bottom. So the conjugate of the bottom, we're multiplying above and below by the conjugate of the bottom. Now this can get quite complicated, so what I tend to do is that I do top by top and bottom by bottom separately and then bring them together at the end. So top by top is going to be 3 plus 2i by 1 minus 5i. So a quick review on multiplying in complex numbers. Remember, we multiply each thing in the first bracket by each thing in the second bracket. So I have 3 by minus 5i, sorry, 3 by 1 is 3, 3 by minus 5i is minus 15i, 2i by 1 is 2i, and 2i by minus 5i is minus 10i squared. And like with algebra, we put together the things that are the same. So in this one, we've got 3, minus 15i and plus 2i is minus 13i, minus 10i squared is plus 10. So what we have is 13 minus 13i. Remember, minus 10i squared is plus 10 because I squared is minus 1. So if we have minus 10i squared, we have minus 10 by minus 1, which is plus 10. Hopefully you remember that. The bottom by the bottom, well, what I have is 1 plus 5i by 1 minus 5i. And remember, this is the whole point of the conjugate, because what happens is when I multiply this out, I get 1 minus 5i plus 5i minus 25i squared, which is 1. And look, the imaginary parts cancel each other out. So minus 5i plus 5i cancel each other out, and I'm left with minus 25i squared is minus 25 by minus 1, which is plus 25, and that gives me 26. So my top is 13 minus 13i. Let's just write top there. The bottom is 26. So my answer, which is step 3, is equal to top over bottom. Just bringing this down. Top over bottom, which is equal to 13 minus 13i over 26. Now, often the question will say to us, give your answer in the form a plus bi. So a plus bi, answer in form a plus bi, a real part and an imaginary part. So I'm going to split this up into a real part, which would be 13 over 26, minus 13i over 26. Now if you notice, when I get this, I'm almost there, I'm practically there. 13 over 26 actually can reduce down to a half. If you plug that into your calculator, it'll tell you it's a half. And this can plug down, reduce down to a half as well. So I'm a half minus a half I. Or you might say a half minus I over 2. And that is our answer.